guys, as my short said this morning, I spent just over 6 weeks in the UK visiting family, new family, might be able to tell you about that at a later stage, maybe, and some friends. So it was fantastic to actually catch up with people after just over 3.5 years due to the pandemic, as you know. We surprised a few and it was fantastic. So what this video is about, sorry I digress, but it was a great time. This video is about what I thought of the UK after 3.5 years and why I live in Thailand. And if you're thinking of actually moving and making the jump, then this video is most probably for you. So what we do is we roll intro. Hi guys, why wouldn't you want to come to Thailand? Huh? Look at this. Awesome. Come visit. So I'm getting into Thailand. The first thing I noticed obviously was the weather. We went from 37 down to 7, and that's before we got out of -7, sorry, before we got out of the airport. So the weather, Thailand beats UK for the weather for sure. One good thing about the weather, when we were in the UK for Christmas, we had snow. We was in a very rural part of the UK and it was absolutely stunning and beautiful. We're rolling hills, all covered in a blanket of white, which is really good. But saying that, I would say Thailand comes out as a big tick for the weather. Shopping, things have gone up in price as they have in Thailand, but not obviously on the grand scheme of things. Diesel in the UK is more expensive than petrol now, and petrol was coming in at 150, 155, something like that, where in Thailand I think it's about 75, 80 pence a litre. So as far as transport's concerned and getting about fuel, Thailand is still the better for all of this. Shopping, lots of shops in the UK have closed down. There's lots of like abandoned shop fronts, looks a bit untidy. So really I still love Thailand for the shopping bit of it, albeit if you go to the big shopping malls in the UK and the big parks, there's everything there that you've got, to be honest. And a lot of the stuff like B&M and them type of shops are cheap to buy stuff that most probably you don't really need. But on the other side of that, in Thailand, we go into Phuket, there's massive shopping malls, huge, as good as the UK. So in Thailand, you got a bit of shopping for both, really. But the only thing for me was a lot of the high streets in the UK did seem a bit abandoned, and it looked terrible, not great really, not good, which is sad really, because I love and I'm proud being British, but I don't like what the country's become. It has. It just seems to me that it's being run down massively by the people that are supposed to be looking after our country, but they're not really, are they? Because everything's turned into SH1T, isn't it? With the NHS, I know there's a lot of stories about the NHS in the UK. For me, when I got there, there was a letter from the NHS for me to have my retinal scanning done. And it was sort of mid-November, so I thought I'll give him a ring. So I gave him a ring and I got in for that day, really. They said in the morning, and I'm like, I haven't even had a shower yet. So I said, booked it in for 1:30, so I went down there and had my retinal scanning done, and it was all good, she said. But then about a week later, I got the letter saying everything's fine with retinal scanning, which if you're a diabetic, that's a good measure to know where you've been. So for 3.5 years, I've not had anything really tested officially. It's good to know that my retinal scanning is good, so I must be doing something right, folks. Yeah, so that's the only sort of NHS that I dealt with, to be honest with you. But I hear a lot of stories about the NHS being run down, it seems to be, and they wonder that people can't cope in the hospitals because they shut them all down, didn't they? Closed a lot of the hospitals down and never took on a lot of nurses. So what they need to do is open up some more hospitals, give back to the people that pay the taxes. And believe it or not, I am a taxpayer in the UK. So that's what they need to do there. So there's a lot of doom and gloom around, to be honest. I can understand why, really. I'm consider myself very, very lucky in the life that I lead here, and the one we've got here, as a lot of you know. If not, check back on some of my videos and you can see the normal everyday life of an expat couple living in Thailand for 11 years. So guys, what else about the UK that reflects on Thailand? What about service? The service in the UK is normally pretty good in places that you go to, restaurants and bars, as it is here in Thailand. But a bit more of a smiley face here, really. And you can see where this is heading. Do I prefer Thailand or UK? For me, when we came back, although it was hot, I was not complaining about the cold in the UK. And I'm not complaining about the heat here. But got to get used to the heat again. Hey, why wouldn't you? Sorry about the old pool there. Look at that. It's a bit sad, isn't it? But the shocks came and it's in now, so that's all working. And yeah, just slowly getting the garden back together as you do. So yeah, living. We stayed with friends and family, obviously, which I really appreciate them putting us up. Absolutely. But I love our home here. And I know for you, any of you guys want to know when we built, which is about 6 years ago. If you look back on my previous videos, you see all about the build and how much it was and how much the land was and how much the pool was, blah, blah, blah. And I know full well that you cannot own land here. So there's no need to comment on that. I understand the risks you take, but life is full of risks, isn't it? I think it is. And sometimes you just got to take them. There's got to be a point where between first base and second base, you take that jump and you're not on either first base or second base. You're like mid-air, and sometimes you've got to do that. Otherwise, if you, like I say, if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. But you want to change your life, this is the place to do it. It's still cheap, it's still good to live. So what is good in the UK? For me, the Christmas time with family and friends is great. You cannot beat a British Christmas day. And cannot beat a British Christmas dinner before. And it was a bit like the Vicar of Dibley, really. We must have had about 6 or 7 Christmas dinners. Every time we went to visit family and friends, they done us a lovely Christmas dinner, which was, yeah, but I weren't pushing the Brussels sprout round the plate. I ate them all. And yeah, I packed on a couple of pounds, a couple of kilos, since we've been away, but I intended to do that. I was not going to have the nice stuff at Christmas. There's always nice stuff at Christmas. So the UK for Christmas is pretty awesome, despite the cold, but I endured it as we all do. At Christmas in the UK this year, and Lisa and Tom made a snowman in the garden, which if you check back on the other videos, you'll see all sped up, so it's not boring, but a little Christmas man. So a little snowman was made full of, we had a scarf and it had a carrot for a nose and coal for eyes. And that was pretty awesome. Lisa thoroughly enjoyed it. Luckily, we had some snow gear back in the UK for when we went to Lapland a long time ago. And yeah, it fitted even better, but that was pretty awesome. You can't beat building a snowman at Christmas. So, although it be a short video, and I'm pretty sure you knew what the outcome was going to be, for me, Thailand is my home. For me as a retiree, I think I have a better lifestyle here for less money than you would use in the UK. There are some bargains to be had in the UK still, and stuff like that. But for me, it's nice to be back home, despite my green pool, which is on its way now. The shock chlorine's in, and it'll take 4 or 5 days to get sorted out. Just got to keep the filter clean and just keep running it, really. Keep running it. But oh, guys. I'm going to load a video up about 7:30. The time now is 7 o'clock Thai time. And I looked at the questions. I got a question from Stephen. Stephen, we spend about 25k a month. That's Thai baht. Doesn't include medical insurance and stuff. And it's only utilities we've got over in eating, really. We don't live a lavish lifestyle. But we don't go without anything that we want. But what I will try and do is I will put a link at the end of the video for you on the video of, I've done a couple of videos about how much we spend. I'll try and put that on the back of this video. If not, search for my video, Stephen, and you'll see that they're there. So guys, as I said before the closure, thanks very much for taking your time for watching my channel. Consider subscribing and hit that little notification bell. So when I upload a video, you'll get it. But most importantly, stay safe, guys. Bad Badger out.